bam, bam, double fist. I just built the cheapest custom rifle you could possibly build. I mean, we found the cheapest stock, the cheapest factory action, which I think is one that I think people don't realize. This is a $400 component action you can get for your builds that's widely available. And not enough people talk about it. And it's shooting so well. I mean, it's insane how well this gun shoots. So first, let's just prove it. I'm gonna put up some paper and let's shoot some targets. And then we'll talk about why I'm frankly kind of amazed that this gun shoots at all when you see the barrel. All right, here's the reveal. This is it. We're gonna talk about each of the pieces in a minute. Let's see how it shoots. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's probably just barely over a half-minute group on this inexpensive option. That is cool. Dang. That is absolutely amazing. Oh man, that is a half-minute group on this gun, plus the other one's 3/4 minute. Very, very impressive. We're gonna shoot a couple more and see what this thing can do out at range. But let me first show you why it's really, like, frankly amazing that this gun can shoot at all, because we bore scoped the bore. So this barrel, I should say first, comes from Outlier. They're making the cheapest barrel on the market, 200 bucks. I could not believe that. And so I thought, well, we'll give it a shot. We've had a couple people shoot them in accuracy challenges, and they did pretty well. They were shooting about 3/4 minute for the two that we saw. I think one was in 7 PRC and one was a 6.5 PRC, if I recall. And so, you know, pretty impressive for a $200 barrel. They're truck axle barrels. I mean, they're extremely, extremely thick. And the machining is so sloppy. I mean, it's what you'd expect for 200 bucks. So I stuck the bore scope in, and look at this bore. Just the camera, the inside of the rifling and stuff. I mean, there are just gouges and machine marks and nicks and just gunk throughout the whole thing. I mean, that is one of the ugliest bore scopes I've seen. And yet, look at the groups that it produces. It's incredible. I think it tells us two things. One, the bore scope doesn't tell you everything. I've seen some that look pretty and they just don't shoot that good, and I've seen some that look ugly and they shoot good. But the other thing is, it's a heavy barrel. And what we just see over and over again is the more steel we have on that barrel, the less finicky the barrel is. And I think that's what we see here. If it feels like I'm hiding a little secret in this video, it's because I have this new watch from Vare. It is the C5 Tactical Field. It has a really blacked out aesthetic. I want to thank them for sponsoring today's video because it's a pretty cool watch. It is solar powered, and even if you're in Alaska, places where you don't have a lot of sunlight, 6 hours of sunlight is going to power this watch for 6 months of use. The thing I like about it is it's not like overly pretentious. Like, I can be out here shooting on the range, but it's also like, that's a handsome watch. You could dress that thing up quite a bit. It has a bunch of different band styles you can pick. I really like this fabric one, sticking with that kind of black aesthetic. It's modeled after the A11 field watches worn by servicemen in World War II, if you recognize that awesome aesthetic. Check out Vare watches at my link in the description. That's the Vare Tactical Field Watch. So let me walk you through this build. The real cool part is this action that's 400 bucks. Okay, this is the outlier barrel that I was just talking about. Now, when you look on the outside of this barrel, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the video. It's such a fine texture, but like the machining, like you can see every tiny little line. That's a cheapo machining job on this thing, but hey, it shoots. That's amazing. The bipod is, this is the MDT Oryx, inexpensive. This stock is the MDT field stock. Now this stock, we just did a review of this. Garrett just did it on his channel. Is that up now by the time this goes up?
Yep, that'll be up. Okay,
so that's on the Ballistics Lab channel, is Garrett's channel. He just did a full walkthrough of this. It's a very impressive stock. For 300. It has a good vertical grip here, nice flat area here. You got, you know, decent connections. You at least have some M-lock up there. And there is a backstop recoil pad available for the MDT field stock. You have an adjustable comb. It's a pretty functional stock for what it is. Then the trigger, we got a Trigger Tech, I think the Trigger Tech Field, inexpensive upgrade trigger. No.
That came with the action.
I'm wrong. I was going to get that, but I wanted to get the cheapest one. This is the Howa 1500 factory trigger.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty decent.
It's really not bad at all.
I was very surprised. It's been a while since I've shot a factory Howa rifle. And that's a really pretty decent trigger. I like the take up. So we're clear here. When you pull the trigger, there's like a big take up. It's not, I don't know if I would quite call it, it is a two-stage because it's not breaking right away. But like the take up is incredibly light. Usually on a two-stage trigger, the take up is heavier than this. So there's some take up that I like, and then the break. Dang, that has to be the best factory trigger.
I would say so.
That's amazing. Huh. We need to revisit a few Howa offerings. We shot the Howa Super Light, the crazy 4-point whatever pound rifle, and we're not fans, just it's a spaghetti noodle thin barrel on that thing. But I do think we need to revisit some Howas. That's pretty impressive. But you can get a Howa barreled action for $400. The barrel and the action. Now here's how it's shot. Because it's that thin barrel in 6.5 PRC, we really didn't have good results. And so we took just the action and used the outlier barrel, and that's how we're doing this. So as a component action, I don't know of any better entry point. $400 for a barreled action, and it includes your trigger to do a little build. That makes putting together little customs a lot more accessible, because so often the action is $1,000, $1,500. And so to have that option is really cool. And there are quite a lot of pre-fit barrels for Howas. So that's pretty cool. Then this scope we did is the Discovery Optics. This is the 6-36 by 56. All right, we're gonna try something crazy here. We're at 700 yards. We got our target here. Garrett is putting the spotting scope. We're gonna put it right up next to that target, shooting back at us so that we can see what that trace looks like what it looks like for an animal to get shot from 700 yards. We're shooting out of that shipping container, and we're gonna try to put a 5-shot group on that piece of steel from 700 yards away. All right, just for a little fun, we're at 712 yards. I put this in ChatGPT. I'm shooting a bullet with a G1BC of 0.697. Target is at 715 yards. Velocity is 2920 FPS, 4,000 feet of altitude at the target. What's my hold in mils? We're just gonna trust it implicitly. Okay, 4.1 mils. We're sending it. Oh boy, here we go. We have not doped out this gun thoroughly. Impact!
I heard a ding. I was hoping that wasn't the spotter.
Oh, but it was up on the upper edge of the plate. I mean, we are inches away from disaster right there. Yeah. We're gonna shoot these groups now. I will say, I love gunsmithing. Like, putting together builds is so cool. If you're interested in learning gunsmithing skills, go to sdi.edu/backfire. Ag. This is driving me nuts. Hornady's consistency has just sucked lately. Make sure it's the same load. Yes. So this is Hornady 147 match. And now a new box of Hornady 147 match. We got a different primer in there this time. And sometimes we found when you see different primers, we end up with different results. And so, like the whole, it's expensive to get a gun sighted in and like fully doped out to know how it's gonna shoot. And the whole promise of the factory ammo is, look, it's the same. And so if you get it set for that factory ammo, it's gonna be the same forever. And it just has not been the case. I'm gonna take 2/10 out from what ChatGPT told us since that one went high. Sweet. That is 3 shots in probably 6 inches out there. No, less than that. That's pretty cool. So, the cheapest custom rifle. What did we learn from all of this? Well, there are limitations. One, this thing is insanely front heavy, right? And so we need a stock that matches a truck axle barrel like that. And really, to get a heavy stock, competition stock, you're not gonna get it for that. And so this build definitely has limitations, but it really shows some promise. The thing that I'm most excited about from doing this and just the learning point is this action. Howa barreled action 400. That shows me a lot of promise for how we can just kind of cobble together some cool builds. Howa is gonna get a lot more views on this channel.